When you are very tired, do not want to do any works, or even you want to quit, how can you get strength from God? Here, a church sister, Josephine, she will share her devotion and encourage us how to move on. Thank you, Josephine.
Hi there. I want to share with you a little bit about what God has been teaching me about not quitting. How many of you have ever felt tired of obeying God? Have you ever just wanted to stop and do nothing? Do you ever feel like quitting? Oftentimes, what God calls us to do can be really difficult at times, and we just want to quit. And especially as women, we feel that we need to always be patient, always encouraging, super productive. We need to be efficient. We're multitasking all the time. For many of us, we are working outside of the home only to come back home and do more work in the home. We feel like our work is never done, and sometimes we just want to stop and we just want to quit. Have you ever felt like that? I have. Sometimes it's everything that is bothering us. At other times, it may be only just one thing that is totally draining us. But whatever it may be, we feel tired and we just want to quit. We're not alone. In the Bible, the people of Israel not only felt this way, but they actually stopped obeying God and doing what God told them to do. However, the book of Haggai gives us some great encouragement when we feel like quitting. Haggai was a prophet that spoke God's words to the people. Let me tell you a little bit about the setting of what's going on during the book of Haggai. The Israelites have returned to Jerusalem after being captured and exiled to Babylon. And after 70 years of being exiled, God prompted the king to allow some of them to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple that had been destroyed. So a group of people returned and started rebuilding the temple. It was hard work. They faced dangers from the elements as well as opposition from other people. They started the rebuilding, and then it got hard. They quit after 2 years. It was just way too difficult. They grew tired, they grew weary, and they quit. Now, they didn't just quit for a little bit and to take a short rest. No, they stopped building for 14 years. We pick up in Haggai chapter 2, verses 4 and 5. God tells Haggai to speak to the leaders and to the people. God's word says, "Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, declares the Lord. Be strong, O Joshua, son of Jehozadak, the high priest. Be strong, all you people of the land, declares the Lord. Work, for I am with you, declares the Lord of hosts, according to the covenant that I made with you when you came out of Egypt. My spirit remains in your midst. Fear not." After hearing these words, the people were so encouraged. They started rebuilding that temple again, and they finished in 4 years. We read about it in the book of Ezra in the Bible. These words encouraged the people to continue on with what God called them to do. Today, I want to also encourage us with these words from God. How can we continue on when we just feel like quitting at times? Or maybe some of us have already quit. In these verses, God tells us to do 3 things. 1, be strong. 2, work. And 3, fear not. 3 times God tells them to be strong. He told the leader, Zerubbabel, he was the governor, to be strong. He told Joshua, the high priest, he was the spiritual leader, be strong. He told all the people, be strong. And you know what? God is telling you and me today, be strong. He also tells us to work and to fear not. How can we be strong, work, and fear not? The answer lies in this. It's all because of God. Because of God's presence, God's promise, and God's protection. Haggai 2, verse 4 says, "For I am with you." Verse 5 says, "According to the covenant that I made with you when you came out of Egypt." What is this covenant or promise that God is referring to? If we look in the Bible, in Exodus chapter 29, verse 45, God is speaking here, and he says, I will dwell among the people of Israel, and I will be their God. The covenant or promise is God's presence. He will dwell among them. Haggai 2 verse 5 says, my spirit remains in your midst. God promises us that he is with us. He remains in our midst. God is reminding the people in Haggai's time to remember that he was with their ancestors when they left Egypt after being in slavery, and they left Egypt 925 years before. He promises them that he is with them now as they are back in Jerusalem, facing a really difficult time of rebuilding God's temple. And today, God promises us that he is with us too. God has always been with us. He has been with us in the past. He is with us now in the present. And God will be with us always in the future. God's presence is his covenant, his promise to us. And when God is in our midst, guess what? God will protect us. He will strengthen us so we can be strong. He will give us strength to work. We don't have to fear opposition from people or circumstances. What kinds of things do we tend to fear? Oftentimes it's people. People who are intimidating or stronger than us, and people who are outright against us. But remember and know that God, he is in our midst. He is stronger and more powerful than those who are intimidating or those that are against us. So my friends, be encouraged and listen to this, especially if you feel like quitting or if you have quit. Be strong. Work, for God is with you. And fear not, for God's Spirit remains in your midst.